The Northern Lights. Hey everybody, I'm Ollie. I'm an artist from Saskatchewan, Canada. And when I think of Saskatchewan beauty, I think of the Northern Lights, the Aurora Borealis. In basic terms, solar particles collide with the Earth's magnetic field and make an amazing display of color and light dancing across the night sky. Little fact, did you know that the purple aurora is called STEVE, stands for Strong Thermal Emission Velocity Enhancement. Saskatchewan's nickname is Land of the Living Skies. It's even on our license plate. See? It's right there. Oops, who put that there? So when my wife challenged me to make a painting themed on Saskatchewan, I naturally thought, grain elevator. Okay, that was a lie. I wanted to do the Northern Lights, and I'd seen them many times, so I started with these thumbnail sketches, try and figure out a bunch of ideas, tried to come together with something, and then I brought up pictures that I had taken, flipped that one around, added this one that kind of looked like a phoenix, and then we had this one here as well, put in my grandson. That's going to be the painting. Yes, that's it. So I brought out the iPad, and I did up a sketch, and it looks like that. It looks like a 5-year-old did it. Don't judge me. I was brand new to the iPad, and this is what I figured out. Stuff in the background, this phoenix-looking thing in the foreground, my grandson watching on. Anyway, spray paint in the background. So, to the spray paint. It was minus 40 then, so I couldn't really spray paint outside, so I decided to do water-based spray paint in my basement, which is a total disaster still, and so to the spray paint. My original thing in my art journey was spray paint, so I wanted to try and do the background with spray paint, making sure I get the edges as well, and just go nuts, throwing down the baseline colors. I'll come in with acrylic paint afterwards. So I had some fun. It's been a while since I spray painted, months even, so this was a lot of fun. Okay, spray painting is done, and it actually turned out better than I thought. What? Yeah, I like it. So now, next step is take this matte medium. So matte medium is basically a layer put on top of the spray paint, so then I can come in with pencil and do drawing on my character. I could always trace something on there, and I can use acrylics, and it's not going to mess up. This is water-based spray paint, and the acrylics, and the whole thing could mesh together and make a big mess. So best to put down this matte medium, and then I can come back in and do the rest of the work without having to worry about that base layer. And it comes on looking a little streaky and stuff, but I guarantee you it will dry clear and you won't have a problem. So the matte medium went on a couple days ago, so it should be really good to draw on. Now, I'm going to be using graphite and drawing basically my grandson staring up at what is going to be a Northern Lights phoenix. Every part of this, the whole painting thing scares the crap out of me. I kind of hope that it never will stop. I like being scared because then I know I'm going to take my time and I'm going to try and do it right. So, like I said, this was scaring me. I've never drawn really much onto matte medium, and I didn't know if I could erase. So if I made a mistake, could I bring an eraser in and fix it, or was I pretty much stuck with what I was doing? But I had to do it, and nothing to do but to do it, right? So away I went, and erasing was fine, drawing was fine, but more about this character later. So if I was smarter, I would have used iPad, and I would have drawn it out on there, and then I could have used, printed out, put a transfer paper, and use that to get it onto here. But I don't have transfer paper, and this stuff scares me enough. I finish up the pencil drawing, ready to paint, ready to get at it. I swear we're cursed. So we had a dog that needed surgery, and a bunch of other stuff happened. So It's already the 17th, and I haven't even started the acrylics yet. And this painting has to be done by the 23rd. So I'm going to take all my equipment upstairs. Maybe have a James Bond movie fest and try and crank this painting out because time is running out and I have to watch the dog to make sure the other dogs don't lick that dog and yada yada yada. So, to the living room. How about some Northern Lights trivia? They were first viewed to be spirits of the dead, ancestral messages, and omens of war and disaster. Too dramatic? At the time of the Vikings, they were seen as reflections of the shield and armor of the Valkyries as they were fighting in the sky. That's pretty cool. In Finland, referred to as foxfires, a fox swept its tail across the snow, sending sparks into the sky. I've also heard of such a thing as southern lights, where there's lights down in the southern hemisphere that are a little different, but still the same kind of thing. I don't know, has anybody ever seen that? Let me know in the comments. So after the night of day 1, I went and I looked up how to make cleaner lines with paint, and the idea of adding water to acrylic just seemed weird to me. I was also told not to use straight black, but to take blue and add a little bit of black to it. So this is a line with just mixing the paints pretty much together. And as you see there, it's not that smooth. There's a little bit of breaks in it. So I'm going to add a little bit of water to it. I don't know why adding water to it makes no sense to me. It was like watercolors. You add water. Acrylics are just paint. But you add water and it makes it a lot smoother and liquidy. Much like fluid paint. And then it comes out with the lines a whole lot easier. I'm using a liner brush here, which has long, thin bristles. And here's the line. See, so much smoother, so much... yeah, it's just better. That's all I can say. So add water to stuff. It works. Final bit of trivia as I redo the outline of my character there. Aurora Borealis was coined by Galileo in 1619. Aurora is for the goddess of the dawn. She rides her chariot. And Borealis is northern wind, I believe. So basically it becomes northern dawn. Okay, enough trivia. On to that something that irks me. That face. It's supposed to be my grandson, but I hated it. So I took a picture of the painting, put it into Adobe Fresco, and then started to redraw it, and then come in with pencil and paint and try again. Because if you don't first succeed, yeah, you know what I mean. And they always say trust the process. Yeah. But at what point do you stop trusting the process? Look at my grandson's face. It's gorgeous. Look at what I'm doing. That's not. So I googled how to make a face darker because it's supposed to be at nighttime. So I thought a glaze, and I watered down some blue because I didn't have a glaze medium, and this is what I came up with. And then I was putting it on, and then it was like, that just bugged me. So then I decided to paint it over again and make it more colorful. Okay, there comes a time in every artist's career or experience, whatever you want to call it, where you just have to accept the fact that what you're doing is not working. I've been working on this painting for days now, hours, and this is not working for me. It might be fine for somebody else, but for me, I just don't like it. So I tried painting over it, as you saw. I put it onto my iPad and I played with it a little bit, fixing some things and putting a glaze over it, and no. There's only one thing that's going to fix it. Finding a cap. So plan C or D might completely ruin the entire painting, but yes, I spray painted over my character. I felt horrible about it. That was supposed to be my grandson, but I had to accept the fact that it looked nothing like my grandson. So the whole concept of this painting was supposed to be a Saskatchewan forest that had had a fire go through, and this beautiful Northern Lights phoenix is rising above it, giving rebirth to the forest. When people think of Saskatchewan, they don't really think forest, but if you go up north, that's all it is. And in 2025, almost 3 million hectares of forest burned. That's forest, that's homes, it's people's lives lost. So I wanted this beautiful thing to come out of the northern forest to show that it's going to be reborn. It's going to be okay. Things can regrow and go on and on. We kind of just have to trust the process. The painting is done. This took me a while, a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. And to be honest, I did not add the final bits to it. I did all the highlights and moonlight coming out of the trees off camera because it was just, I just wanted to do it and get it done peacefully and not worry about filming and all that kind of stuff. So you're going to see that soon. So hopefully you like this. Please like and subscribe as always. I'm going to show you the final shots and it's going to be awesome. Go check out my website if you haven't done that yet, ollieshop.ca. Lots of things on there. You might have seen earlier that there's a code that you can use to get 10% off at my shop. So go check that out. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the process. Trust the process. And here are those final shots.
Bye.